This is going to be a little bit of a training, and I'm recording this on my hike. So if you get a little bit of vertigo, feel free to, just listen and not watch, because I'm going to be walking. And if it works for you to watch while I walk, then that's great too. So this is a training that I want to do for strategic adjustments that projectors have to make in their business when they realize that they're a highly sensitive empath and projector, and what that means. And I'm going to make this recording available. It might be available for free for a while, and then I'm going to make it paid or whatever. But I think this is so important. So background. Who is a projector? Projector is somebody with a highly open system. Those of you who also aren't projectors but have highly open system and are highly empathic might actually resonate with this. And this is going to make a lot of sense for you. Okay? So just kind of trust yourself as you listen to this, trust your intuition about what is going to work for you and what is not going to work for you. And use your authority, your yes in the body, wherever that yes is, whether it's, if you're splenic, start using your authority with this feels good to me. Oh, this really makes sense to me. And start figuring out as you listen to this, start tuning in the adjustments that you feel are going to be beneficial to you in your business. So first of all, I want to talk about how I ran my business in the past and the things that didn't work. Most of my business career, I was coached by generators, manifesting generators, maybe manifestors, I'm not actually sure. But people who may not have been manifestors, but who are actually running their business as a manifestor, right? What does that mean? Manifestors are all about initiating. Manifestors are all about, this is the idea, I'm going to put it out there and do it. So, what happens is that when we do so much forward motion and putting things out there, instead of kind of going with the flow, we start burning out and it stops feeling good. And you have to be really honest with yourself. Do you actually like selling and constantly putting things out there and reaching out to people and doing all the networking and all the messaging and all the things you think you need to do to build relationships? Do you actually like it? Or is it something that you think you have to do? And are you willing to let go that this is something you actually have to do? Are you willing to open yourself to the possibility that that is not really the case? And that you can align with your drive, your fire, to the point where people will be actually coming to you to sign up for your program, to buy a course, to ask you questions, and then you can say yes or no, okay? So I want to talk about launching specifically, because everybody is doing the launch strategy of doing big masterclasses, 5, 6, 7 days, doing virtual retreats, doing Facebook challenges, a year or two ago. It kind of evolves, right? And it's also because the funnels didn't work for us. And I also get that. I also get why funnels didn't work for us, because there was no alignment. But there's no alignment, funnels will not work, right? So then we got into, okay, well, funnels don't work. And I was teaching that to people. Okay, funnels don't work for you. Don't try. Do launching instead. Okay, there is a time and place for launching, for live launching, when you are kind of finding your alignment, right? But now I want to talk to those of you who have done it and who kind of burnt out on that, because you found out through the process that you're a highly empathic projector, and it's really hard to be dedicated so much of your energy to so many people in your community, and leads to burnout. I mean, I remember at the times I went overboard because I was pregnant with Lexi, and then I had Lexi and I had no money, and I was like, wow, This is how it works. I'm going to reach out to 1 million people, network with them, connect with them, do the launches, invite them to my launch. And it worked. We literally got to $1 million revenue in a year. So I'm not going to tell you it doesn't work, because it works. However, it works for the generators and the manifesting generators. And those are the ones who can use my courses, my old version of the courses. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it works and I love it, right? Really, the problem becomes for us who are highly sensitive empaths and those of us who have a projector design aura, because it really doesn't work. It really burns us out. How do you know? How do you know that you're that? Well, you have a lot going on energetically. You feel a lot of things, and there's always some kind of thing going on energetically in your body. You walk into the room, or somebody walks into your room or your house or whatever, and all of a sudden you start maybe feeling trapped in how you're feeling. And like, why am I feeling this? What's happening? Right? And there's something in your space. And the biggest mistake that you can make is that you get frustrated about it. And you own it and you say, oh my God, why am I so screwed up? Why am I feeling so many things? Why am I so emotional? Why do I have this thing going over here in my womb space and other thing? And there's always something going on, right? So this is where we go wrong, when we try to police ourselves and do it anyway. Even though I'm feeling all sorts of things that I'm probably not clear and I can't connect with it inside of myself, I am going to go do it anyway, because that is what I have been taught I need to do. And I am going to time block everything, and I'm going to go live at certain times. I'm going to teach a lot of things. I'm going to be on camera a lot. And then that will generate business. Okay? So, again, short term, it works. You can generate the revenue. You can keep it up to a certain point. You can do this out of necessity. You're out of money, you do a launch, you get clients, done and done, right? Long term, it doesn't work. You're going to burn out if you don't manage this, and you just are in this constant empathic overwhelm without even knowing that you're in it, and you start shutting yourself down. There is a point where you literally hit a burnout where you just can't anymore. And you have no idea why, so you start making up stories about how what you're doing is out of alignment, or the clients are out of alignment, da, 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 da. And then the next thing you know, oh, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I need to be in a different line of work, right? And we have really no idea what's going on with us, okay? So, projector design, or somebody who has a lot of open centers, like me. I think all except 2 are open. I amplify a lot. The way I do my magic is that I sit with somebody, and sometimes there's energy swapping going on. I see into them. I connect to their center. I amplify them. Okay, I get it. I get them. I understand what they're all about. That's like, I really want to understand what they're all about. And then I have, a head that works in quite brilliant ways that can feel where they're at and then give them guidance. And oftentimes, it's a very good strategic guidance. I give them the next 3, 4, 5 steps, whatever they need, that I really feel will be beneficial to them in their strategy. So, that is how we operate. That is how we're designed to work, okay? To sit with somebody across the table, tune in, figure out what they're all about, because that is awesome, okay? It's like, ooh, I like this. Oh, I understand this. Oh, yes, It's also a way we learn about ourselves, right? And then we deliver the information. So these launches, when we have all these people on camera or live stream, whatever it is it can get very confusing for a projector to be holding space for all of that and all the energies, and really just, it gets exhausting because we're not designed that way. The generators, they're a little bit more open to other people. They can be in a room and like make everybody feel welcome. For us, it can be a little bit tough because we're really much more comfortable in a one-on-one setting. Now we're in group launches, it's like, holy cow, what do I do with this, right? So there's things you can do. If you are still launching and you want it to be easier for you, there is things that you can do. Number one, making sure that you have the right people in the room across from yourself. Okay? And focus on them when you teach. Don't focus on the other people. Just with that one person that you like on camera, tune into them. You know, there's people who are just amazing space holders. And you can connect, you can tune into them, and you can teach from that space. And it's much easier than when you're not anchored and people are not on camera or you're on live stream. You don't know who to connect to. And as projectors, we're much more effective in our coaching where we're connected to somebody. So you can do that when you can even do launches when you have 2-3 people sitting across from you that you actually like, that you really feel comfortable with, and do it that way, and then record it and send the recorded version to other people. Okay? Or you can do the launch completely solo. Like, I'm recording this video in the nature because that's where I connect, that's where I feel comfortable. And I'm just using, I'm just literally recording this and tuning into what I've been going through to teach. And then I will put it on wherever I'll put it on or sell it or whatever, right? That is to be decided later after the downloads come through. Okay, what do we do with this? So, think about how you can show up for people and teach without being flooded. And that might mean if you're highly, highly sensitive and you're feeling something all the time, you just do it in private and then you put it on YouTube and you let people find you. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, what actually works for you? How do you actually want to operate in your business? For me, I love guiding people through journeys. I love sharing transmissions. I love working out things within myself and sharing with people. That's the guide version of me. And I've recorded a few videos on this. So if you want to look this up on YouTube, there's some things on guide versus mentor and what that means, and guide versus coach versus mentor. So those videos are there for you on my channel. So you need to kind of tune in and what is the role that you want to play. Okay? So do you want to be coach, mentor, or guide? The second thing you'll really have to tune in is, where are you the most effective? Is it one-on-one? Is it a small group? Is it a big group? Chances are, if you like people, you like amplifying people, there might be part of you who likes speaking to big groups. But you also need to understand that when that's happening, you're amplifying a whole lot of stuff. So you do a launch, you amplify a bunch of people, and then the week after, you're completely exhausted. You're so exhausted. You don't know why. There's all these things, they're being flooded out of you. And when you are exhausted, when you're tired, then what happens is that there's opening. You're not in your body because you're so over it. And there's things that are entering your body, your light body. And then you start feeling like crap, and then you hit a depression after an amazing launch, and you wonder why. Because you're not clean. There's so much that you're allowing to enter. So part of this is also learning energetic hygiene. For me, it's an absolute must to be spending time with nature and clear. That is the most effective way that I clear is a long walk or a run, because I really like the breathing hard also helps with it. Yin yoga has become a really important thing to stretch the parts of the body where the energies is stored and release some of that. Super important. Breath work, intentional clearing with breath work. I'm going to sit for 10 minutes. I'm going to breathe with the intention of clearing my energy, and then doing some more energetic practices that I'm learning with Christina from the Light Body Academy. She's working on a program that we're putting together that I'll be able to share with you as well when that's ready. So it's this need to really clear, to really protect your energy, to really clear your energy so that you can use your open centers and your empathic nature in an empowered and intentional way when you're with clients who are actually paying you, highlight, paying you. I need to say this. I need to almost yell this, because just because you're a projector and you have these skills, understand that this energy exchange that is happening between you and the people when you are taking on their stuff, basically, in order to understand them, is a huge energy expenditure. And you cannot do it just for anyone. You cannot do it just for anyone. I'm finding this out the hard way, because what happened is that I ran a mastermind and people started reaching out for support via DM. And I automatically would tune in. This is what they're going through. I would feel what they're feeling in order to be helpful. And I genuinely wanted to help them. There was really that. But I would tune into what they're doing and then go through their shit without even knowing that I was going through their shit. Which was, of course, beneficial in the end for everybody, because I found out so much. And some of the content that I release is because of that, because tuning in. And at the same time, I realized, no, boundaries. Because what happened is that everybody was like, oh, Eva is giving me all this free support in DM outside of the group mastermind. That means, the best thing for us would just be to be friends. And then I keep getting this, because this is actually more beneficial to me than, the coaching on the group calls that I'm getting, right? And I realized, everybody's like, oh, can we just be friends? And I was like, if you want me to tune in and walk you through what we're going through, then that's not friendship. That's me expending my energy to support you. And there is an expense for me. There's a huge energetic expense. So understand, as an empath, as an open-centered empath or a projector, that you have superpowers and you have skills and you were designed that way. But you absolutely have to protect your energy. You absolutely have to protect your energy. I found this out. I caught myself yesterday. Somebody reaches out. Oh my gosh, I just found out I'm projector and this and that. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel for you. I feel for you so much. Let me help. And then I realized I was tuning in and I was like, oh, okay. No, I can't do that. I can't do that, because I'm also modeling for them that it is okay to constantly be leaking your energy by trying to save people and trying to shapeshift into other people unconsciously and trying to help them. But you don't find it out until you really tune into yourself and to figure out what the heck is going on. Okay? Because what I found out, there's another really interesting aspect of this, where we go into energy swapping. And if you're not conscious of that, and you will take on other people's energy, you will get so lost in it, you will end up in spaces where you don't even know who you are. And this is where people end up very, very confused. They're like, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? Why did this feel good yesterday? It doesn't feel any good today. That's because you're not in your energy even. You're in energy of other people. Recap so far. You got to spend a ton of time with yourself in nature, clearing, feeling your own energy, tuning into your own energy. Be away from constant people amplification to really get clear and to really embody yourself. Okay? That's number one. And I was told that so many times that I didn't listen. When I didn't listen, I got myself into burnout and confusion and not knowing what the hell my purpose even was, because I was so confused, because I was living so much of my time flooded. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, is your marketing and business strategy aligned to how you operate as an open-centered, sensitive person? Is your strategy aligned? And if it's not, you gotta rethink. You gotta rethink. I can give you some strategies here, but it is really going to be tuning in. Or you can work with me privately to assess and design your perfect strategy that is going to align with you and the messaging and everything else that goes into this, right? Because sometimes there's so much benefit into talking through this with somebody who can see you, somebody who is a projector as well, right? So there's a huge, huge, huge benefit to that. So you need to look at your marketing strategy. Are you leaking energy? Are you overwhelming with yourself, with all the initiating, all the networking? Oh my God. Community hosting is another thing, you guys. Come on, there's so many people starting these Facebook groups. There's so many people starting these communities, and there's no judgment, because I have put literally 10, 15,000 people in 2020 and 2021 through my Facebook group launches. And the mistake that I made is forcing myself into actually creating a community, and that's not my thing. That's not a projector thing. We don't have the energy to get people to talk to each other. We're the guy. We show up and to teach what we know, right? So if you're going to do a group, it has to be about your teaching and your guidance, and people show up for it. There's an invitation for it. There's no other thing, the other reason why that's happening. Trying to make people happy might not be for every single person who's listening to this. So tune in. Whether you actually like playing the community leader role in your marketing or you don't. I absolutely do not. I really love having deep conversations with people about whatever's going on for them. I really like walking them out of their loops. I really like tuning in with them what the business and marketing strategy is. I really love the liberation. But I'm not the person who makes sure that they talk to each other and they feel comfortable and they feel entertained in the group. Right? That is a waste of my energy, and that is a waste of my skills. There's other people who are so much better at this than I am, okay? Keep in mind, if this doesn't resonate with you, throw this away, because what I just said about community is not for everybody. You gotta be honest with yourself. When I run a Facebook group, do I actually enjoy it? Or is it exhausting? Am I resisting? I'm like, ugh, I have to post again. I have to respond to these comments. Ugh, you know? And when you're feeling like it, then don't do it. Do not do it. Let go of the idea that you have to be good at this, that you have to be good at entertaining people and creating engagement, whatever it is. It's one of the bullshit strategies that doesn't work for us. It works for other people, but not for us, right? So start thinking about, launching, same thing. Start thinking about, does this even work for you? And open yourself to the possibility that you could actually have aligned marketing where you're so truthful in who you are and so comfortable in your own skin. And that takes a while. That takes a lot of inner work, but you're so truthful in your skin and so much in your energy, like you've got the magic. And when you've got the magic, people start coming to you. Okay? And let go of the time pressure. Take care of yourself in the meantime. Figure out other source of income. Borrow money if you need to. Seriously. This realignment is so key and so crucial. before you go do the next launch in your business the old way that is going to burn you out again and you're kind of going to hate it again. Invest in yourself. Give yourself the permission to realign. It doesn't have to take 7 years. Oh my God. No. No, 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 no. You align 1 hour at the time and you align now. What really feels good to me. Living a life by your design is really tuning in, being present about what feels good to me. How can I share my message today? And then building divine masculine containers for what you're doing to make this easy.